Well, hey, beauty, welcome to my channel. I'm Sandy Evenson, also known as Coach Sandy Evenson, and I'm welcoming you here as I begin this process of sharing more and more with you. I've been in other spaces promising that I would come back and give you a lot more because I have accumulated a lot. And I just want to share some things with you here, sort of as an overview, and then I will start getting more specific in things because I have so much, and it is time for me to give back in a bigger way. And as I do this, I'll get more clarity on exactly what sorts of group programs or other things that I can create for you as well. So, welcome to my place. As you know, I am always a little bit just off the cuff. I don't really script things. I will later have some bullet points and some notes, of course, but I just want to be a little bit more welcome to my space at this moment. So I want to tell you that when I started to do a mind map about everything that I could share, all the things that I could do, I'm a perpetual student. It's just like education junkie kind of thing, learning all the time. And so I have a plethora of incredible things that I can share for you, and a lot of certifications and advanced training, etc. So if I were to name them, we would talk about the idea of using the emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, which literally was dropped into my lap when I needed it most. If you have discovered my book, I write a lot about that there. And it is the primary modality I use when I am coaching. It's what I love to teach. I want to get that mind body tool in the hands of as many people as possible. But for this whole idea of sharing, I'm just going to name off some things that I have done because including the tapping are other things that I can share. And a lot of what I've done, and you will find in that book in the back, there is a playbook where I give you exercises that correlate with every chapter. And I have taken other things that I've learned from other specialists and people who are really amazing at helping us get out of our stress. And I've added tapping to them. So it is big. It is an amazing process. So if I list things, the first one was tapping into wealth, all about abundance and money and finances and how we can build that and what's in our way. And as I started to train in that, I thought, well, if this helps me, it'll definitely be worth it because you realize right away it's not about the money at all. It is about our beliefs and our all of the ways we were raised to keep us sort of stuck in how much money we think we can make or how much abundance we think we deserve, because wealth is not just money, right? It's a wealth of everything. And I learned that very quickly. It was really quite eye-opening. I mean, I kind of knew some of that was there, but it was really quite eye-opening. And so I have a huge program around that. But most of the time, I weave it in and out of other things because most of the people who come to me are looking for more than that. Or they start there and realize we get very close in realizing that we need to go deeper. We will get to what's called your early money paradigm, and we find out that there's so much buried in way back in our childhood that we need to segue away from that. And what I normally do then is take you on a journey, excuse me, in an inner journey through the blocks that we have within our chakras. Excuse me while I'm just going to take some water because this is not clearing itself. Highly recommend you keep water. Keep water with you all the time. I'm dehydrated. I've been traveling. I'm just getting back into getting more water all the time. So I digress. So the idea that when we start to work on one thing, we usually find something else. And so I love to take people on a journey through the inner energy system and the energy centers that are called chakra. And they regulate everything within us. They seriously have a huge part in how we deal with our lives. And there are shadows within those chakras or near them that hold all of the history of everything that we've been through. All of our younger selves are within us. And whenever we get triggered into stress and anxiety or self doubt, anger, fear, sadness, all of these things that can get stuck in our head, swirling around, are really buried within our body. And so, as you go through this method, you learn how to recognize it in your body, how it registers, and how to work with it, and how to actually move that energy and shift it. Because you don't get rid of those things, you just acknowledge and give it voice and allow it to clear enough to use that energy that's there. It's so powerful, so potent. And as we move up through that, we get more and more inner power. There's more. I went through certifying for tapping for weight loss, which is so familiar because it's exactly all the other processes I'd learned, just positioned in a different way. And there were a few things that I have added to my tool belt because they were specific for that reason. One of the things that I've taken from tapping into wealth works really well in weight loss and health management because it is about our family paradigm and how things were. So, for instance, if in tapping into wealth, I was teaching you how to look at how your parents or caregivers dealt with money and paying bills and things they said around that, I just take it to the dining room table or the kitchen table and have you notice what's going on there. It's fascinating, but there's also more from that course that is so powerful. And then I went on to become certified as in Oracle school to become an Oracle guide, but I don't use it that way. I use it in my coaching. I started out using it for myself and before I did a call. And one by one, my clients really were interested in it, and we started using it just to pull a card to see what we needed to know. Well, now I am actually incorporating it in a more intense way into my coaching. So there are some processes that do not involve tapping, although we sometimes will tap anyway, but that will really help you step away from where you are and how stuck you feel to see and have a bigger, better perspective and a beautiful way to work with the oracle cards that you take part in that helps you. And that is just a few of the things that I offer because they're just all these different aspects of it. Befriending your shadow is huge. I'm very specialized in stress reduction, anxiety relief, and all of that, but also in befriending that shadow and learning to allow it to speak because that's the part of you that's been holding everything. It is the part that keeps you stuck because it's always trying to protect you and it's just using this old method, a very old reptilian method because from the dawn of man, we needed that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response to protect ourselves. We needed to be able to run from the tiger or stand up and fight to protect ourselves or our loved ones. Or we might need to hide, freeze within that. And then we learned how to people please, which is fawning. And there's another attachment thing. And we come along through the years, and guess what? In the survival of the fittest, what survived was that tiny part of the brain known as the amygdala that responds in that way and reacts quickly, which we need it so desperately if, in fact, we need to run from a burning building, protect ourselves from danger. And it's meant to last maybe 20 minutes to get you out of a circumstance, to help you. It's not meant to be with you in a chronic way all the time, which it is now. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, looking at stress in America, it was estimated, and people were researching, and the number of people were saying that 75% of us were admitting and saying that we were under stress, might have anxiety. When COVID hit, it went to 100%. And it has remained there for the most part, unless you've been working with me and other practitioners or a therapist or someone who can show you how to come out of that busy mind. Because we get caught in thought, we get trapped. And that's what tapping does so easily. As soon as you start to tap, you're in your body and out of your mind, and you are relaxing so you can think more clearly. So, what happens when that goes off, and it happens in such a micro millisecond that when it happens, all of our thought processes, the reasoning part of our brain, it shuts down. It's not working. Everything, all of our capacity goes out into our extremities. So we can fight, or we can run or hide. So that's what happens. We go into what's called a survival mode, which comes from when we were young. Some of us learned it even in the womb because of the stress going on with our mothers and that situation there. And it can actually have, I think most of us have the ancestral codes that have been brought in as well. But then as we move through our childhood, there are other things going on. And there's an unconscious happening around how we can survive. In my world, I learned to stay small, to behave and be a good girl. And, some of us learn to stand up and fight and be more firm in our ways. There's all sorts of ways. And I actually talk about that in my writing and the book and everything about where we learn all these survival things. There are ways where a child will try different things to get its needs met. And when it doesn't happen, it tries something else. So, for instance, when you see a child who is really acting up and misbehaving and tantrumish, that can be from needing a nap, right? Not just out at the wrong time of day, poor mom is stuck. But a lot of times it's the only way the child gets attention. And negative attention is better than none. There were actually experiments done on that prove that, and it's really quite sad. But just know that when we respond in a certain way, and it's part of our mechanism to survive. So as you learn from practitioners like me and therapists and other counselors, coaches, as you learn how to deal with that, what I found is tapping is the fastest way to come out of the repetitive thought pattern long enough to think straight, to make good decisions, and to move on. It's not that it goes away. We work on it, we work on it. But once you learn it, you will start to feel it in your body first, which is a big thing for me. I love to teach that, the awareness of in the body, because the body's storing everything and the body always knows. There are tons of books about it, tons of the science side of EFT and other modalities that work. They work in conjunction. And when you can sense, if I could just invite you to start feeling like when you get that thought and it keeps repeating and you're so stressed, you might be into panic, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm so frustrated, for instance. Feel into your body. Just take a moment, take a breath and feel, where are you feeling it? When you feel that, place your hand on that spot and notice it. It goes there before it goes into your mind. You just don't know it. We bypass it. So it's part of what I teach. I will be bringing more and more of that to you so that you can be able to handle all the stresses that come to you in your life. Other parts of what I do, for instance, from the oracle cards, I accepted a challenge to do something called the Daily Tap, which you can see here on my YouTube channel. It's being broadcast through Restream right now onto Facebook and LinkedIn as well. It's a live transmission daily during the week, so weekdays. And it's a short affirmational tapping with an oracle card. And we just use that as the driver to give us the inspiration for the affirmation. Some people are using um, essences of essential oils, some are using crystals. There's all sorts of things that we can use. Because I am a tapping specialist, I do love to use the tapping and help you tap in an affirmation, which is a little bit different. Actually, it's a lot different from how I take you through tapping sessions because I have you express the negative things that are on your mind, the negative pain you're feeling in your body. But I have you express that so that we can let it out. It's been in your body for too long. And so we allow that to happen. And for me, when I first learned that, I thought, I've spent years working on personal development and self-improvement on how to avoid the negative, to not say negative things because I would bring more negative to me. And you may have felt that way too. But here's the thing. If we can express what's there, that's when we can move forward and manifest faster, feel better faster. So this affirmational tapping is just a little different, but it's a beautiful invitation to what I call tap into calm. It was designed by Emma Starling, called the Daily Tap. She is the founder of Evolved Energetics Academy and multiple programs, unbelievable talent. If you're ever interested in learning to and getting certified in EFT, she's the best I have ever known. She's been trained by the best, but she has taken that way further. I've trained with her. I've been in several programs. I'm part of the academy, although because of everything I've done before, I just dip into it from time to time. But she's on a mission, like myself, to spread this tool. So she wants to get tapping into the hands of 1 million people in her lifetime. So she is much younger than me, so she has time. But many of us coaches and therapists and practitioners have joined her to certify in the Daily Tap to help her do that. So I committed to it for this year. I'm not sure how far I'm going to take it as the Daily Tap, but I will definitely be bringing you this affirmational tapping. It's very quick. Try to stay to 10, no more than 15 minutes, so that you can tap while you're looking at an oracle card. You don't even have to know how to do it because all you do is follow me. You tap where I tap and say what I say and see how you feel. It's really beautiful. And so today I'll just share with you, we did an affirmation from Asha Frost, the Sacred Medicine Oracle. Beautiful, beautiful. And you'll hear me say that a lot because when I first got into Oracle cards, it was because of the artwork and I was fascinated by them. And they were just my private little fun thing. And sometimes with my friends, we would say, hey, what does it say for us today? And we do maybe a 1 to 3 card pull with them. And then I went through Oracle school, which is really about personal development. It's a lot about that introspection. And that was quite an interesting approach after I'd already been through so much with certifying with tapping. But it one of the things that I learned in there is called Envision. And Colette Baron Reed did the Oracle school. It's most probably primary all the decks I have, although I have many more now. She taught something called Envision, which now she's kind of re-envisioning it, and I'm going to be training in that as well. But it's the most amazing way to address what's going on in your life, and you participate is really quite amazing. I say that word a lot, I guess, but this potent mind-body tool tapping along with that is powerful. And within Envision was a process called Get on Your Bird. And we're taking that a step further now and incorporating the Oracle cards with it, that bringing it into the coaching world. So I'm doing more and more of that, which is just really so fun to have you participate and be a part of this because any type of divination from Oracle cards and rosary beads. I mean, there's different ways, reading different ways of divination where you can get guidance from your higher power, your higher self, your inner knowing, your intuition. And that's why I love to use the Oracle cards because as you own a deck and you work with a deck, it really does connect with you. But I use it through Zoom on calls with my clients or in videos like this. But when I have you one-to-one or in a group, I do feel your energy. I see it, I sense it. I have worked diligently on really honing in on my intuition, all my clairs. I have claircognizance, but it has been coming online more along with clairsentient, clairaudient, and the vision. It's so incredible to see and to hear and to feel. And I invite you to start doing that. Look for signs, notice. We all have this. We've always been told we have this sixth sense, but Colette actually calls it our first sense, our intuition, our gut instinct is our first sense. And you can tap into that, and I can help you do that. So I don't want to go too long today, but I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along with me. You can hit that notification bell if you wish, so you get notified. I love doing that with the people I follow. So, I have it on my phone. I just see that little red dot that tells me, hey, there's a notification, or one of the people I subscribe to has put another video up. And tune into the lives, if you will. And actually on the channel, if you click onto lives, you'll see a whole bunch of them. They're those and all these messages, particularly anytime we do the tapping and we pull oracle cards, those messages are always there for you. And whenever you find them or they find you, that is when you are meant to receive it. And you'll find it's an image, it's a word, a sentence, a phrase that resonates, not always the whole thing. So tune in. I'm so happy to have you here. And I want you to know that I always see you. I see your beauty. I see your light. Let me know how this was resonating with you. Tell me what it is that you would like to work on. What's the topic of all the things I can help you with? Tell me what's stuck that you are really wanting to work with in your health and your weight or your uh, finances and your wealth and your abundance, your relationships and your loves and your connections. We can work on all of it. Stay tuned. There's going to be more.